fuck happened? Fucking got my ass kicked. Fuck. Oh. Oh. Jesus. Oh. Time already? Fuck. I'm Mike AD, and this is This Week in Wrestling. On to Raw. The night begins backstage with Rollins going full animal with Lashley backstage and the Job Squad trying to break it up a different tone because every show tends to begin with 20 minutes of bragging. And what the fuck happened to the music at the top of the show? Not even before the stage is clear, cue Cena's music and he walks out like nothing happened, like I'm above this shit. You know, I was ready to go on first tonight talking to Vincent Gorilla and whoa, boom, I just didn't see that huge fight. And if I did, why is it the top stars are above breaking up such a melee? And another thing, say a top guy such as Finn tries to break it up backstage, how is he perceived? Just saying. So, Cena, after that bizarre transition, puts over Rollins, does the same thing as last year, says he's not going to get left out again, and he enters the Royal Rumble. Out comes Drew. He doesn't care about his new haircut, but he does put over Cena as the greatest of all time. Then we'll proceed to destroy that legacy. This almost turns into a fight, but the previous segment spills back out onto the stage as Lio Rush starts complaining that bully, Seth Rollins. Out comes Rollins again to continue the ass-kicking. Then Ambrose to attack Rollins. We've got a Pier 6 happening, and predictably Finn comes out to even the odds. Guess what's going to happen here? You count the bodies. Back from commercial break. 6-man tag. Cena. Have you heard of hair in a can? Shave that, please. This was a terrific match that Seth puts an exclamation mark on with a curb stomp and a 1, 2, 3. Cena and Finn celebrate, but Seth goes backstage to confront Triple H, who's partying it up with former women's wrestlers Bayley and Sasha. Proceeds to waste a perfectly good cup of coffee, and he wants Ambrose for the IC title tonight. Trips is happy about his change in attitude and gives it to him. Falls count anywhere. Now would you please go get me a new cup of coffee, you jackass. Now, we all rise, and we get a 10-bell salute to Mean Gene Okerlund. Out comes Hogan to celebrate his life. He runs the video package, and I have to admit, it was pulling on the heartstrings, especially when most of my childhood featured this man and these interviews. Just an unequaled character, just beloved. Hogan holding back tears. We're gonna miss you, Mean Gene, because what you gonna do when Genomania runs wild on you? Excellent segment. Next up, Glorious Gable versus the Revival 2, because they got screwed over 2 weeks ago. This was also really good, but still not enough time in a 3-hour show to feature these 4 guys prominently. Anyhow, Glorious wins, the ref fucks up again, Gable's foot was on the rope. We're gonna get this again. Apparently, there are 6 superstars on the way. Who cares now? Stop talking and do it. Elias plays the guitar, begins to weep over the fact that he's not going to win the Royal Rumble. Enjoy my success and Baron Corbin's failure. What a prick. But let's face it, Corbin's a prick too. Corbin's out now. He's deluded. He ain't winning the Rumble either. But before you know it, we get Elias versus Corbin. It's a new matchup. And Corbin is still wearing that frickin' suit. Elias pays for making fun of Corbin's career prospect, and he loses, just to throw sand in the eyes of the fans. Ambrose, he doesn't really like 6-man tags anyway, and he'll beat Seth's ass in the hot dog stand. Out comes Strowman to confront Lesnar. But all they do is they bait and switch and decide to do a face-to-face from the back of the place. All I saw for 5 minutes was Braun growling and Lesnar not coming out. And then Brock does, I'm going to go out. And he walks around the ring and then he goes to the back. Bullshit. Mixed tag time. Jinder does an excellent job of insulting the crowd. Out comes Ember Moon and the flavor of the last 2 weeks, Apollo Crews, to get this piss break started. I didn't even have time to flush. Eclipse, it's over. Alexa Bliss hosts episode 1 of This Moment of Bliss. She runs the Ronda Rousey 365. What a great rookie year. Out comes Ronda, who surprisingly puts over Sasha Banks. Then cue the fake puking. And Nia Jax comes out to ruin the segment. Out comes Sasha to lay down the gauntlet. Me versus you, winner gets Sasha. I don't know who these wrestlers think they are. We're the authority. Anyhow, this one gets made. This was really good, except for what looked like a botched Hurricane Rana off the apron, and Sasha spills onto the floor. Brutal. Somebody fucked up there. Regardless, she taps her out, and it looks like we're getting a decent match here. And a medical exam. Whoa, that was scary. Main event, Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins, IC title, Falls Count Anywhere. This was really far superior to their match at TLC in every conceivable way. On the cusp of Seth winning the title, WWE goes full 2018, Bobby Lashley runs in, destroys him, throws him back in, Ambrose gets the pin. Fucking garbage finish. Smackdown Tuesday night, Daniel Bryan eviscerates the audience for their vacuous, hollow lives. That's why they cheer for AJ. He beans a guy with a hot dog, pours pop on a guy, continues virtual signaling, impotent. Gotta love the guy's response. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Love it. Out of the blue, R-Truth just Pearl Harbors him because we're having a match. It's not bad at all. Truth is great in small quantities. He's got a genuine rapport with the crowd, but you know how this works. It's over, short and sweet. Uh-oh, here comes Styles. There must be vegan blood in the water. You know it's amazing how a babyface can take a nuclear ass beating and not a soul comes for the save. Now reverse the roles. The minute the babyface runs in for revenge, security just materializes like Captain Kirk in a heartbeat and breaks it up. Unreal. Consistency? Fuck it. You know, on Monday, Cena walked out 35 seconds after a melee just cleared the stage and pretended it never happened. This week, Daniel Bryan's WWE title lies on the stage for minutes while Mysterio enters and walks down the ramp. What the fuck is going on back there? Get your ass in gear. This is a tag match. And God, it was a doozy. Samoa Joe and Cien Almas versus Rey Mysterio and Mustafa Ali. Fucking A. This was a hell of a match. These guys can do it again for all I care. The heels win this time, and this one was hard-hitting, high-flying, and had frantic pace. And Mysterio pulls out the pile driver. Rewind, replay. Carmella. People underestimate you. She was champion for 130 days. Mella is money. Yeah, pesos. Usos are getting to beat the Bar tonight because the tag shot depends on it. Shane's in the back, it's the Miz again. He chews out his boss for giving another team the title shot and not showing blatant favoritism. If he was really a self-serving pick, he'd pull out the Baron Corbin and book himself in a Universal title match week after week. Anyhow, he picks the white leather, then leaves the Miz hanging again. Out comes Rusev. He's a little distraught because Lana took a bump last week. He crossed the line, and just an honest-sounding promo from a husband angry and concerned for his wife. Abracadabra, it's Shinsuke, in the video booth with the evidence. And after viewing it, he's got a point. But Rusev is like a liberal. He doesn't care about facts. He just wants to destroy Nakamura. He runs backstage only to be laid out once again by Nakamura. If he really wanted to fuck with his marriage, just kick him in the testicles. Didn't work on AJ because he already had kids. Speaking of testicles, Becky Lynch says Asuka is on borrowed time because when the man comes around, she's coming for the belt. They once again run the Mean Gene tribute package. Grew up with him as the face of the company, unequaled. There's never going to be another announcer like him, especially in the age of cardboard cutout interviewers. Truly, one of a kind. The Usos versus the Bar. What the other tag match was, this wasn't. It took forever to pick up any pace. Once it did, these two teams knew each other very well. What a slow-motion car crash. Then, at its peak, Mandy Rose comes out in a towel, looking for her booty shorts, and they lose by distraction. Distraction by infidelity. Mind blown. Sorry, Uso blown, apparently. Out comes The Miz to challenge the Bar on behalf of himself and Shane. What balls this guy has. Sheamus kicks his head off and then accepts the challenge. Naomi is in the back, and she loses her shit and beats down Mandy Rose. Like normal, 2-on-1 leads to a beatdown, but Jay shows up just in time to save his wife from Ass Kick City. Charlotte Flair, the hottest thing going the last 4 years running. Get ready to be humbled by the Queen. If your last name wasn't Flair, believe me, there's lots of people walking around in this company with entitled lineages, but what I can say is, she kicks ass. Daniel Bryan is rocking that hemp sweater coated in vegan mustard. He's gonna be champ forever. If he was 240 pounds and his head wasn't full of loose marbles, he would be. Uh-oh, 6 individuals coming up to the main roster. Who cares? The Miz is in the back, in pain and disbelief like me that they got the title match. And despite all the evidence that points to a total dysfunctional duo in terms of priorities, preparedness, attitude, these two are going to pull this off. Carmella, Becky, Lynch, Charlotte Flair, winner gets Asuka. These three laid it on the line more than Triumph in 1984. 20 plus minutes and Becky wins. My only issue here is, where are they going with this? Becky seemed like the favorite for the Rumble. Now they're pushing her to reclaim the Smackdown title. Regardless, Asuka comes out to confront her, and this was hot. Looking forward to the match, regardless of how nonsensical it is. Long-term booking doesn't seem to be a word in this company's vocabulary. On to Wednesday night with NXT. Bianca Belair takes on Nikki Cross and EC3 versus Adam Cole tonight. Here we go. Out comes Johnny Gargano. He says success is winning in championships. Well, at least somebody does. Trying doesn't matter. And he's gonna be champion. Ciampa is a piece of trash with a title that he wants, and oh yeah, by the way, Ricochet has a title that I want too. Out comes Ricochet. He wants to know whether or not he wants to do it face to face or in the parking lot. Good one. Here comes Ciampa to stir the shit. Aleister Black appears on the stage, lays him out. Ciampa shits himself, tucks tail, and goes backstage. In the confusion, Gargano super kicks Ricochet in the middle of the ring. Nothing is guaranteed, but what I know for certain is strange things shall be afoot in Phoenix. Regal announces the War Raiders get their rematch finally against the Era in Phoenix for the tag titles. Looking forward to that one too. Bianca Belair versus Nikki Cross. 1 mind versus 6. Don't call her overrated. She'll drop your ass on that metal fucking grate that's still freaking there. Every week people are maiming themselves on that. In person. Gets hurt with a pile driver, it's over. Every week they're getting killed on this thing. Bianca says she's undefeated. She's impressive, but you won't see her winning in 2 weeks. Street Profits, metaphorically opening doors, beatboxing, get in the frickin' ring. Who approved this horrible vignette? Get your ass out of the horrible segment, get your ass back in the ring, and throw that ass over the top rope onto that exposed grate. And fix your hat. It's crooked. EC3 versus Adam Cole. This was unexpectedly shit. Could have been better, should have been better. Typical Era finish. Face gains advantage, heels interfere, in the distraction Cole wins, very flat. Then the predictable 4-on-1 ass rape begins, and the War Raiders make the save. Some great team power and kick-ass offense. We'll see what happens in Phoenix. On to 205 Live, and based on how I was feeling the previous 48 hours, this week could not come to a close sooner. Tonight, Hideo Itami takes on Cedric Alexander, while Buddy Murphy watches a flat screen while flexing his pecs. Why is it that whenever there's a mystery opponent, the silhouette always looks like Rob Terry? Trust me, it's true. Noam Dar versus Tony Nese. Apparently there's a reason for this match that I've long forgotten, but Tony Nese can't stand Noam Dar because he sucks. This was just there. Both guys are capable of so much more. No heat, no fire, who cares? Dar wins. Kendrick is reading a letter from Akira Tozawa saying that he's in Japan because there's nobody in America to train him. What about fucking Ludwig van Beethoven? Yes, ha ha ha, sincerely Tozawa. And somehow Kendrick is gonna help him win? That sounds to me like a conspiracy to interfere. Watch out for this Kendrick guy. He's gonna be up to no good. The Submission Commission gives Drake a huge binder of non-high flyers that they can hire for 205 Live. He tosses it in the garbage. In walks the Kanellis twins, and apparently it's been 5 weeks, and he has not been booked to wrestle on 205. Hilarious, look at Zack Ryder. He went 51 weeks without being booked on Raw. He got on a plane, showed up to the arena, and for 51 straight weeks, Creative had absolutely bupkis for him. Good for you, Mike. Stand up for yourself. And another thing, Maria says something very salient. If you're bringing in all these new stars, and I can't even get booked on your show, what's gonna happen? Vince? Your answer? Wrong answer. Great question. You're fired. Lio Rush didn't lose again. Man, this guy has a problem with reality, although his frustrations are justified. The Lucha House Party cheated. It's their fault. Expect consequences. If the only consequences we face are a great series of matches, this will be worth it. If after week number 3, Leo is crushed by piñatas, Jose Cuervo, and Salsa, this is a waste of talent. Itami versus Cedric. Open the gates of hell. Fight. Jesus, this was awesome. And in the end, Itami wins because we need another heel in this dynamic, and somebody else needs a shot. And besides, the rubber match is necessary television. Buddy Murphy, he's a wolf, he's gonna eat sheep. Next week, he's issuing an open challenge because he is unstoppable. That's it for This Week in Wrestling. Don't like the language? You should try watching Raw on a regular basis. I made a New Year's resolution to try and control my vitriol, but damn, this new era is testing the limits of my fidelity. Did you see that Rollins-Ambrose finish? Fucking sucked. Don't like the content? I didn't create it. If I had created it, I would have given it a swift abortion with the very same clenched fist that is rapidly forced up my posterior week after week. It makes you wonder, when you watch a show like Smackdown, who does so many things right, and then Raw, who continually, habitually, shall I even say excitedly, institutionalizes its fans 3 hours at a time for a lifetime. It makes you wonder what the fuck has gone wrong. Perhaps I ask too many questions. There's lots of fans who have questions and strong criticisms. But you know what Xavier Woods says? I'm a crybaby, I should stop watching. Have you ever thought that you're a sycophant? Have you thought that maybe the company should ply their whims to the audience instead of a deranged septuagenarian? Because they know that what happens to those who criticize the wrestling monopoly they work for, it's either get locked up to a lucrative prison deal or make your journey around the ever-decreasing indie scene as it continues to get sucked into the event horizon of WWE's over-expanding influence. In the wrestling business, it's a matter of time before it's all gone. I just observe and report, but as it appears, although I wear a suit, I can also receive massive blows to my oversized skull. Just massive blows to the cock next time. No more unprotected chair shots. Not doing that again. No unsanctioned chair matches ever again. Until next week, I'm Mike A.D. This has been the Knights of the Squared Circle podcast. Last week, I was unceremoniously put through a table. No more challenges. No more wrestling on this show. I'll stick to what I do best. Rock and wrestling and fucking your mom.